Welcome back, my dear students of class 9. Dear students, in the present video you are going to learn about the diseases, about the communicable diseases, about the non-communicable diseases, and in the previous video you have already seen, you have already learned about the some of the diseases that are found in the human. Now in this video you will be able to learn the mode of the transmission of diseases, mode of the transmission of communicable diseases. So how diseases get transmitted? Transmission. How the diseases get transmitted from reservoir or from person or from any surface to a person. So let it see, there are two methods of the transmission of the diseases. Number one, that is the direct transmission, direct and indirect, direct and indirect transmission. Direct transmission means the transmission through the droplets, that is going out from the mouth or nose of a person by sneezing, coughing, saliva, etc. So especially the respiratory system, respiratory infections, nervous infections, common cold, diphtheria, whooping cough, tuberculosis, meningitis, etc. are transmitted by the droplets. So these are the dangerous diseases which may transmit by the droplets, and most of them are the viral diseases. The virus will come out along with the droplets, and these droplets are responsible for the spreading of the disease from person to person. Dear students, if a person is coughing, if a person is sneezing, and if another person that is in contact of that person, that will be directly infected by person. Dear students, second one is that is contact with soil. If the droplets fall down on the soil and a person is touching the soil, then that person may suffer from that particular disease that is spread by the soil. As by any means the soil, that is the surface, and on that surface somehow if virus is live, then that virus may infect, that bacteria may infect the person. Third one is that is the inoculation. Inoculation means the contaminated needles. If a contaminated needles, that is from an infected person, is going to use by the non-infected person, then that person will be the sufferer of such kind of diseases like AIDS, and by dog bites, syringe, rabies, hepatitis B virus, herpes virus. They are these pathogens, they transmitted transplacentally, that is called. So dear students, you have to know about this direct transmission. Now come to the indirect transmission. Direct transmission means transmission through the contaminated water, contaminated food, vegetable, fruits, milk products, and infectious agents, fingers, flies, mosquito. These are the indirect transmitter of the diseases. And diseases like hepatitis, diarrhea, typhoid fever, polio, hepatitis A, food poisoning, intestinal parasites, and other kind of the hepatitis, they get transmitted by the indirect transmission through the different sources. So dear students, you have to know about the mode of the transmission of the diseases in human by the several sources. Dear student, now come to we have discussed in the previous video about some diseases, and now come to the next disease, that is AIDS. AIDS, that is a dangerous disease, and this disease is the disease of the immune system. The full form of this disease is the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, and this is caused by retrovirus, and this retrovirus is called RNA virus, that is RNA virus, and this is known as the human immunovirus, HIV. The name of the virus is human immunovirus. Means this virus is the virus of the immune system, and it affects the immune system of the human being. Dear students, if a person is diseased by this life-threatening disease, that is the AIDS, then there will be the certain symptoms, and before going to symptoms, you have to know about this is the life-threatening, and this virus can pass to the blood-brain barrier. There is a blood-brain barrier, and this blood-brain barrier is a barrier that is responsible to check a pathogen from infections. Dear students, this blood-brain barrier check all type of the infections, but the AIDS virus is able to go to the brain bypassing the blood-brain barrier, and this virus causes neurological psychomotor disturbances. Neurological and psychomotor abnormalities are there in the patient of the AIDS. Dear students, the symptoms which get expressed in the patient of the AIDS are the discomfort, that is their body get discomfort in the discomfort phase, loss of the body weight, fever, night sweats, and AIDS is the end stage of the infection, and in this disease lymphatic nodes get swell up and blood platelets count decreases. In that case the hemorrhage and fever will be there. So these are the different type of the symptoms which get expressed by the disease that is called AIDS. And the mode of the transmission of AIDS virus, that is HIV is it get transmitted sexually. That is why it is called sexually transmitted disease. This is a STD. It is transmitted from male to female and from female to male when they come together in the physical contact. And other means blood transfusion by blood donation or blood receiving by the contaminated needle and syringe, needles and contaminated syringe. Needles and contaminated syringe when a person is taking medications in the form of injection, and if the contaminated syringe needle will be there, then that person may be infected by the HIV. HIV also passes from an infected mother to her fetus through a placental barrier. My dear student, this HIV virus is able to cross all kind of the barrier, whether that is the blood-brain barrier or placental barrier. Placental barrier. So the placental barrier will be crossed by the HIV, and that is why the fetus which is growing inside the mother, infected mother's abdomen, that get infected by the HIV virus, and that will be the patient of AIDS by birth. Dear student, infected women should avoid pregnancy. If a woman is suffering from AIDS, that woman should avoid the pregnancy, otherwise the newly born baby will be infected with HIV. Therefore, my dear students, this is the life-threatening disease. It has to be avoided by avoiding physical contact, by avoiding taking blood, by avoiding needle and syringe, infected using needle and syringe, and by avoiding the pregnancy by the mothers. How it can be controlled? The question is how it can be controlled. So, to control the HIV or this AIDS, the antiviral chemotherapy with chemical compound like AZT, chemical compound that is called AZT. This is used to prolong the life of HIV patient, and this chemical compound is known as zydouvidine. Zydouvidine. This is the chemical compound which is responsible for the somehow treatment of the HIV patient, so that their life can be prolonged for a short span of time. And antiviral chemotherapy. This is the antiviral chemotherapy. That virus may be reduced by giving this AZT. So, dear students, otherwise the protecting measures are to avoid the sexual contact, to avoid the taking blood of infected person, and to avoid the needle and syringe, etc. To avoid the drug abuse also, that is the most important. My dear students, come to the next disease, and that disease is the polio. Polio is the worldwide disease, and this is very common, especially in the countries that are situated at the equator, like India, Africa, China, and other Indian subcontinental countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Bhutan, Nepal, etc. Especially these countries are mainly sufferer of the polio. The polio is called poliomyelitis. Poliomyelitis. So come to the next disease, that is polio. This polio is also called polio, that is poliomyelitis. This polio is called poliomyelitis, and this is a disease that is caused by the virus like rabies and encephalitis. This is a virus, and it affects the central nervous system. This is the virus of the central nervous system, it directly affects the central nervous system, and by affecting central nervous system, the patient of this polio is be able to paralyze the patient, and the symptoms are headache and fever, stiffness in the neck and confusions. It means headache and fever. Headache means the pain in the head. Fever means raising temperature body, and stiffness in neck means that is the hardness in the neck movement. Paralysis in the muscles, arm and legs, etc. And finally, paralysis takes place. Paralysis in the muscles of arms and legs, etc. So that that person will be not able to walk, move, etc. And it can be prevented by the immunization. This can be prevented by the immunization, and this disease can be transmitted through the contaminated food, water. Also it multiply in lymphocyte tissue such as the tonsil, causing the vomiting. If this virus is multiplying in the lymphocytes, lymphatic tissue, then that cause vomiting, intestinal cramp, nausea and influenza. These are the other symptoms of this disease, and to prevent this disease, to prevent polio, there is a immunization program that is conducting by the WHO, and that immunization program is the oral polio drop, oral polio vaccine, oral polio vaccine. So this is a WHO program that is going on by WHO in different villages, in small villages, small towns, by the primary health workers. That is going on, and this is the pulse polio program that is conducting by the WHO since last so many years. And in India, especially in western UP, this is being almost eradicated. But some cases are present, especially in the part of the western UP, but in the South India, almost it has been eradicated due to the education. So, dear students, to neonates and infant and toddlers, this polio vaccine has to be given as per the guideline of the WHO to avoid the disease like polio. My dear students, after polio, let us see about the tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is another kind of disease that is caused by the bacteria, not virus. That is the bacterial disease, and the name of the bacteria is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria causes the tuberculosis. The disease is called tuberculosis. Dear students, the tuberculosis is the disease, mainly the disease of the lung, disease of the bone, and especially the Mycobacterium tuberculosis is causing the pulmonary tuberculosis. So if the tuberculosis is in lung, that is the pulmonary tuberculosis, and if that infect the bone and joints, that will be the osteotuberculosis. Skin lymphatic gland, then the skin tuberculosis, and this disease also affect cattle, and that is called the bovine tuberculosis, which sometimes also affect man. If a cattle is infected by this tuberculosis, then that can spread the tuberculosis to the human also. So dear students, Mycobacterium tuberculosis released a toxin called tuberculin. Tuberculin, that is a toxic substance. Tuberculin. This is a toxic substance which is released by the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and this tuberculin that is observed by the pathologist, and it can be detected in the pathology in the test of the TB. And this tuberculin was first discovered by von Perquist. Von Perquist, he was a scientist in 1907. This tuberculin get discovered by the scientist, and the name of the scientist is von Perquist. Von Perquist. He discovered the tuberculin, and this tuberculin may be observed during the pathological test of the tuberculosis. My dear students, the mode of the transmission of tuberculosis is by the droplets that cause the pulmonary tuberculosis, by the saliva that cause the pulmonary tuberculosis, coughing and sneezing that generates the largest number of the droplets which contain the bacteria. The symptoms of the pulmonary tuberculosis is patient shows the persistent fever, persistent cough and fever, chest pain, loss of appetite and loss of weight. Apart from these symptoms, chest pain often develops early before the disease has gone to an advanced stage. Sometimes it is observed that chest pain may be early if the disease is going in the advanced stage. So, these are the symptoms. And the tuberculosis of the lymphatic glands, they swell up due to the infection. Glands of the legs discharge secretions. How the tuberculosis get prevented? The tuberculosis get prevented by the good nourishment and good sanitary practices, immunization with BCG vaccine. BCG, the vaccine which is known for the tuberculosis is to prevent the tuberculosis, that is the BCG. Education of the TB, education about the TB disease, eradication of the TB from the cattle, and isolation of TB patient. TB patient has to be isolated from the society so that this disease cannot be spread. And chemotherapy as well as the BCG vaccine are the effective measures to control the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And my dear students, this tuberculosis is a disease which can be controlled within a 6 months, and by the providing anti-tuberculosis therapy. Anti-tuberculosis therapy, the 4 drugs therapy are there. 4 drugs therapy, and this therapy is called rifampicin, that is antibiotic, isoniazid, that is antibiotic, pyrazinamide, that is antibiotic, and one more, that is ethambutol, that is again antibiotic. So 4 antibiotics has to be given to a tuberculosis patient so that it can be cured within a 6 months. So now this disease is the curable disease. Therefore, my dear students, we have discussed here about some more diseases in this video lecture, and I hope that you will be able to learn the fact and figures of the diseases, the control measures of the diseases, and keep watching this video further in the next episodes. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.